Trojans, family, and friends, good afternoon and happy Veterans Day. My name is Sugi No, president of the Veterans Association at USC. I am an Army veteran and I worked as a supply specialist. I am a senior at Marshall School of Business, a transfer student, dependent of an Air Force veteran, first generation, and most importantly, a proud Trojan veteran. Veterans Day is a moment for reflection, appreciation, and gratitude. Like our country, the student veteran population at USC is diverse. We all have different backgrounds that offer unique perspective to the classroom and community. Many members of faculty and employees are veterans who provide their own experiences. The Veterans Association at USC was established by students in 2008. During the last decade, Student Affairs has closely partnered with the organization by facilitating events and a veteran student space, the Veterans Resource Center. In 2021, the university held a call from the community and hired a dedicated Veterans Resource Center supervisor to meet the community's needs. Other resources the university provides are student veteran housing and priority registration. To lessen the financial burden, the university fully expanded the yellow ribbon at the undergraduate level. These are a few examples that highlights the university's dedication and commitment to the student veteran community. Dr. Fault has a record of advancing the military and veterans initiative of 3 colleges and universities, leading as president of 3 institutions with long-standing ROTC and student veteran histories. One of the examples is when she was a chancellor of the University of North Carolina, Dr. Fault led a fundraising campaign to establish and endow scholarship for military dependents, and she helped expand services and scholarship for veterans. She values the military and veterans member of the USC community and classrooms. We are happy to have her at USC supporting all students leading diversity, equity, and inclusion. It is my honor to introduce USC President Carol Fault.
Thank you, Suki, for that lovely introduction, and thank you for your service to our nation and for serving as USC's first female president of the USC Student Veterans Association. Hello, everyone, and special greetings to the watch party at Tommy's Place. The Trojan commitment to military service is long-standing and it's very strong. In 1918, during World War I, USC established an early division of the ROTC called the Student Army Training Corps. 1,000 students enrolled in the war effort. They pitched tents on the original football field, they attended classes in uniform, and they trained in trenches dug throughout Exposition Park. More than a century later, military service and research now touches every part of our campuses, from dentistry to digital libraries. We have more than 1,000 current undergraduates and graduate students who are veterans, more than 400 on our faculty and our staff, and we have thousands of alumni veterans across the world. Today, we say thank you. But we hope that you feel that gratitude every day. And we want to do our best to support our veterans through USC's signature programs to bolster veterans and to support veteran networks. Just a few examples include our Warrior Scholar Project, which is an accelerated summer college prep program for veterans, and it's now in its 8th year here. And our new RAND USC Epstein Family Foundation Center for Veterans Policy Research. This center is now conducting the first of its kind study in Southern California that should be a major driver of veteran policy. And, of course, our Veterans Resource Center and all of those who work to staff that and our veterans programs. The center itself is renovated and slightly expanded, a place to study and connect in the Tudor Center. Several of our alumni veterans, of course, have stories that are very well known. And that includes Dr. Joseph Medicine Crow, a World War II hero who was awarded the Presidential Medal of Honor. This year, you may know that we renamed a building right in the center of our campus in his honor. But you may not have heard of Dr. Ben Salomon. He received his dental degree from USC in 1937, and he opened his own practice, and he was drafted as an infantry private. Even after becoming an officer in the Army Dental Corps, he treated patients in the morning and trained with his regiment in the afternoons. In 1944, he was working on a patient when his platoon came under attack in the South Pacific. When he realized that the gunners defending the medical tent had been killed, he grabbed a machine gun and he protected his patients. Sadly, he was eventually killed in battle. But for his selfless bravery, he posthumously received the Congressional Medal of Honor, and he is the only dentist ever to have earned that distinction. Today's Trojan veterans are equally inspiring. Let me just talk about a couple. I'll start with junior Cindy Tai, who moved to the United States from Cambodia in 2007. She began her academic journey at East LA College and later enlisted in the Army, first serving as a fire control specialist supporting the infantry in Fort Hood, Texas. Then, as an accounting major at the Leventhal School, Cindy joined the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, helping fill out those complicated tax forms for USC students and community members. Another person to highlight, Marshall's Deshante Lewis, who's in our Masters of Business for Veterans program. Deshante served in the Army at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and now he's training for a marathon and teaching digital media arts at a youth institute and working on a tech startup. Veteran students like Cindy and Deshante are building on the incredible legacy of our Trojan veterans. And that legacy includes one of the Title IX trailblazers we're celebrating in this 50th anniversary of Title IX year. Maylis Ward, a reserve forward on USC's 1983 and 1984 women's basketball teams, which won back-to-back national titles. Maylis enrolled at USC with an Air Force ROTC scholarship and originally planned to become an accountant. But in her sophomore year, she took an orientation ride in a Lockheed jet, and it changed everything. After graduating, she trained to become a pilot and was the only woman in her class to graduate. Now, at the time, women were barred from flying fighter jets and bombers, so she trained male students for 4 years. She later moved from active to reserve duty, and she now flies for United Airlines. And she achieved at least 2 historic firsts. She was the first Black woman to serve as a flight instructor for U.S. Air Force, and she was the first Black woman to serve as a captain flying for a commercial airline. We salute Maylis today, and we salute all of our Trojan veterans. I know that each of you has an important story as well to add to the Trojan legacy. Please know how grateful we are for your service. And let me just say once again, thank you, and fight on.
Hi, everyone. My name is Matthew Allen. I'm the graduate assistant here at the USC Veterans Resource Center on campus. I'm also a student in the Master of Business for Veterans program, also known as MBV, at the USC Marshall School of Business. Previously, I served for 6 years in the United States Army as an infantryman and had a combat deployment to Afghanistan. Veterans Day is a very special day. And to me, Veterans Day is a time to spend with friends and family and honor those who decided to put their country before their own needs and all the hardships and sacrifices made along the way. For us veterans who are now Trojan veterans, we are blessed with the opportunity to be a part of another elite organization and surround ourselves with highly intelligent and highly motivated individuals on a daily basis while we find our next purpose in life. I want to wish you and your family a very happy, healthy, and safe Veterans Day, and most importantly, fight on.
Thanks, Suki. Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Bukal. I'm the chair for the USC Alumni Veterans Network. The AVN was founded in 2014. Our mission is to strengthen the Trojan community through social, educational, and service-oriented engagement opportunities. The alumni group operated under the core values of respect, integrity, commitment, and community and honor. Trojans involved in the USC Alumni Veterans Network come from various sectors including business, engineering, law, healthcare, and entertainment. These alumni leaders help shape the organization in a meaningful way to uplift our veteran community. The Alumni Veteran Network is open to all USC alumni who are veterans. Today, we celebrate Veterans Day. Every November, the nation comes together to honor the service of all veterans. As a veteran myself, I had the great opportunity to serve the United States Marine Corps for over 20 years. During my career, I had the privilege of serving alongside the best men and women the nation has to offer. Those young Marines and sailors serve as my inspirations, source of strength, motivation. Together, we were able to accomplish things I would not have imagined and been to places many have never heard of. On behalf of the USC Alumni Veterans Network, join me in celebrating the recognition of the dedication, sacrifice, commitment that veterans gave to the country to preserve its freedom. To all veterans, thank you for your service. Semper Fidelis, and fight on.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Veterans Day. My name is Isabella Sanchez, and I'm currently a junior in the USC's Navy ROTC program. I'm also a student worker for the USC Veterans Association, acting as the current secretary. It is so wonderful to be given the opportunity to speak with all of you today. It is a very special day for all veterans, their families, and all military service men and women that make sacrifices every day in service of our country. I'm speaking to you today to talk about what Veterans Day means to me. My family is filled with military service and experience. My mother currently serves as a major in the Air Force. My father is an Air Force veteran. My cousin served in Operation Iraqi Freedom, and I have multiple other relatives that have served in other branches of the military. This is what has motivated me to pursue a career in the military, to do something bigger than myself, and to continue a tradition of military service. My mom was deployed as I was growing up, and it was very hard for my family to be without her. However, we all understood the sacrifices that come with being an active duty member of the military. Looking back at those times, I'm extremely proud of her and what she has accomplished. Being in the military does not come with an easy lifestyle. It requires dedication, grit, toughness, and sacrifice. Their dutiful service to our nation has preserved many of the core values we believe in. Therefore, our veterans deserve as much love, help, and support as possible. I'm truly amazed at how much support USC provides to veterans. As an ROTC member, I feel comforted to know that I'm part of an institution that supports us in our future career endeavors. I proudly partaken and lead our school's color guard events to help honor the veterans that have made sacrifices that have enabled us to have freedoms we take for granted everywhere. It is truly a humbling experience to carry the Stars and Stripes. Observing Veterans Day allows me to take a step back, put things even more in perspective, and look forward to the journey I will partake in after I graduate. While this is a day to celebrate the incredible work our veterans have partaken in, let us not forget the countless Americans that have lost their lives in service. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Natalie Chang, a recent graduate from the USC Doctor of Physical Therapy program. I'm an Air Force vet, and I served from 2012 to 2016 as a physical medicine and rehab journeyman under the Air Force Global Strike Command. Today, we honor those who answered our nation's call to defend and protect this beautiful country of ours. Navy, Marine, Army, Air Force, Space Force, Coast Guards, whichever uniform you wore, thank you. As an airman, I had my Air Force family. As a veteran and a Trojan now, this second family of mine grew tremendously. I'm thankful for my fellow brothers and sisters, and I'm truly grateful for the strength and unity. Happy Veterans Day, and fight on.
I'm Bernard Moran. I went by Bernie. I served from 1971 to 1974 in the United States Marine Corps.
My name is Don Persky, and I am a retired Marine and retired United Airlines pilot, and my daughter is a full-time student here at USC in our OTC Marine Option.
I'm Glenn Wynn. I am a former graduate of Pennsylvania Military College and an instructor at the USC School of Aviation Safety and Security. And I've been there since 2005. Prior to that, I enlisted in the Marine Corps in 1959.
I'm Michael Barr. My father was a career naval officer, so I decided that it was best to go to the United States Naval Academy. I graduated in 1962, but I wanted to be a pilot. And they were saying that I was a quarter inch too short to fly off a carrier. And I said, then I don't want to go in the Navy. I went to the Air Force officer and I said, how tall do I have to be an officer and a pilot? They said 5'4". I said, where do I sign up?
I loved SC. When I was here, at the time they had a group called the Squires, which was the, I think, sophomore students who, it was a service organization which was a precursor to the Trojan Knights.
They want to talk to me at USC. I was elated. I thought, gee whiz, one of the biggest, smartest universities in the nation is calling me, Glenn Wynn, you know. So I went for the interview, and Mike, within, 2 days of meetings after they did my background check, which really was not a big deal because I had all kinds of clearances in my life, and they offered me a job on a part-time basis to come in and teach as soon as I retired. And I did. And, of course, I've been there now almost 15 years, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Well, just the only thing is I'm just taken aback by the support USC has always shown and continues to show for our military population, from the support to the ROTC of grooming young men and women to become amazing citizens and officers, and the support that they've always shown to veterans is just absolutely overwhelming. And I think last night was just a reflection of that. So it's very, very much appreciated, and I think it's hopefully mutually beneficial, because I will say, I had been out of the Marine Corps for many, many years, and now my recent association with ROTC students through my daughter, whether it's Air Force or Army or Navy, I mean, we're talking about the brightest and the best. We are talking about amazing individuals that I just, wow. So I'm impressed.
I spent a normal career, and after 23 years I retired. But during that time with the Air Force, I came here to USC in 1967. And I went through their long course of flight safety. I learned how to investigate airplane accidents and how to prevent them. So when I retired, a friend of mine said, call USC. They might have an opening for the school. And I thought, no way. The people stay there for 20 years before they retire. And when I called, they just happened to say, Mike, you got an opening. Do you want to come out? And I said, sure. So I already was teaching a graduate course at the Air Force Base. And so I came out and I taught 2 one-hour blocks, and I had a bunch of professors in the back of the room critiquing me. I left, and 2 days later, the university called and said, can you be here in 10 days? And that was the beginning of a 30-year stay here at the university.
Good afternoon, Trojans. My name is Janine Williams, and I'm the Center Supervisor for the Veterans Resource Center at USC. On behalf of the Veterans Resource Center and the Student Equity and Inclusion Programs, I want to thank each and every one of you who joined us both virtually and in person this Veterans Day. I'm honored to be speaking to you today on such an important occasion. We're here today to honor our veterans and remember the sacrifices they made and the courage and dedication it took to defend our country. The Trojan veterans we honor today come from all backgrounds, but they all possess courage, pride, determination, and selflessness. And I see these qualities every day from our military-affiliated students, the members of the Student Veterans Association, and USG's Military Associated Student Assembly. I'm also a U.S. Army veteran. I served 2 combat tours in Iraq years before I found myself serving the USC military community. This community warmly embraced me at the start of the year, and I see firsthand the great work that our students are doing every day. You truly set the example of what it means to be a Trojan. Lastly, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all of you who generously helped make this event come together. Dr. Folt, Sarah, Jack, Adam, Melissa, Shala, and Ali, the TES team, and of course, I can't forget my awesome VRC student staff and my SEIP team. We couldn't have done this without you. Thank you all for attending today's Veterans Celebration. I hope you take the time to reflect on your service and the service of your loved ones. Please stop by the Veterans Resource Center in Tudor Campus Center, Suite 330, to meet me in my office and the great students that work here. Fight on.